Right, so in the last one, we basically completed getting Gratia, and we also were captured by Duke Radcott, which was the specific requirement in order to get Nana. So we fulfilled all that. Nana's back with Radcott, and we are moving forward now. So let's go to the interview board, because we didn't do it last time. Alright, as you can see, Devlin is still in the blue, so we kind of have to keep speaking with him. Okay, Duke Zeira had a difficult childhood, and Devlin is being a crybaby. Okay, there we go, all three. Now hopefully Devlin doesn't really end up hating us. Alright, so let's double check our equipment here. I don't believe we got any new ATACs. Yes, so Galvus will end up leaving us in the future, that's for sure, so we have to make sure he doesn't get any kills. Otherwise we lose the experience we would normally get for characters that will stay, such as Reyna, Devlin, Barlow. Zeira even stays, which is interesting. And Andrew stays with us the entire time. Now let's double check this. We want Devlin to always have the fire jewel, just for the sole reason of he needs it for burning soul. And we need Reyna to always have a water jewel, for the sole reason that she gets Reyna's trick. Barlow, on the other hand, I'm debating whether he should have the wind jewel for turbulence, or whether he should keep an earth jewel for healing. Since we're gonna get Nana, we're gonna end up with an earth jewel anyways, so maybe we'll use her as a healer, and Barlow will be the one who spams turbulence. Okay, and Andrew here is basically a ninja. He's gonna have turbulence, and yeah, he's gonna be great. Alright, so let's move on to the next mission. I was doing some research where I was determining what stats I would need in order to acquire certain attacks. Nothing like walkthroughs or guides or anything like that. It's more of just what specific stats will get you the attack, and also the dormant abilities and the support abilities. So in order to get Reyna's trick, which is her most powerful attack, we're going to need her level 4 water jewel, as well as we're going to need to work on her, let's see, her base and her dexterity. As for her power, agility, defense, and weapon, we just keep it at 7 and we'll automatically get it. So we gotta get her base up to 16 and 20. Devlin, on the other hand, he's actually a lot easier in that you just need to continue increasing his base and power. So I was mistaken earlier when I thought we had to increase his dex too. And that should really be it. As for the support abilities, this one is super interesting. Actually, I will actually bring it up on Firefox here. So let's move over here. And I believe, which one is it? Here. If you look at the support abilities, each one, in order to get support abilities, you have to have a certain base stat, which is fascinating. I always believed you need to have a variety of stats increased, but apparently that's not the case. So the support abilities we definitely want is Cooling Mist, right here, and that requires an Aquamarine, which we can get immediately, and then Earth Heal. This one is going to be super important because since Bastion is going to be one of our most powerful characters, we kind of don't want him using his Holy Light the whole time, as you can see here, right? Even though Holy Light is very useful, we want him attacking for the majority of the time. So this is where Earth Heal comes in handy. We can have Nana doing her healing, or Barlow if I give him the Earth Jewel. So we're gonna have to decide at that point. Okay, let's go back and switch back to Vanguard Bandits. Here we go, and let's begin. Alright, so I'm not gonna read the dialogue. We're gonna treat the rest of this stream as kind of a research learning experience here, and we'll summarize dialogue. So Faulkner doesn't see Bastion, but that's okay. He is gonna come out. And we have some back and forth between Zeira and Faulkner. This is going to happen for quite a while, until basically they start attacking. And Hothead right here. You're going to see him basically like be a hothead every time he speaks, especially to enemies, even to allies actually. Okay, so Faulkner is, let's see, he really needs Bastion here because he requires the power of Ultragunner. And since Bastion is the only one who can control it, he requires Bastion. Okay, so here we now have our objectives, as Zeira spoke. We need to hold the bridges in order to prevent the Empire from making their way to the temple. The only interesting thing is that even if they reach the entrance of the temple, the mission doesn't actually end. It only ends when all our allies are destroyed or Bastion is destroyed. Okay, so we'll hold the bridges and keep these parasites at bay for as long as Bastion needs. That's what we need to do. Okay, so battle begins now. Now, optimally, we'd want Barlow. We want Barlow and... Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cough, so you're going to hear that every now and again. I'll try to minimize it as much as possible. So we'll have Galvus in the front because he is a disposable character. In a way, he is going to leave, so we don't have to worry about keeping him alive the whole time. Oops. And we'll put him, let's say, right here. What the? Oh, apologies. It was Andrew first. Okay, so we're going to move Andrew first. And Turbulence has an attack range of 4 spaces. So let's make sure we can hit this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to place him here. And we'll attack with Turbulence. We'll get some free experience. There we go. And we can end here. Reyna, of course, should always be behind the character you want to keep alive, since she can also do two space attacks. Zeira still is uncontrolled until we complete, what mission is that? The the rebellion in Avalon, I believe. Okay, so we're gonna stick Barlow right. Let's see, Zeira is gonna run off, so we have to be careful here. We'll stick Barlow right here, and we'll have him just get a little bit of experience while he's attacking. Now, what's interesting about this ATAC is that even... Why can't I select it? There we go. What's interesting about Imperial 9, this ATAC looks like it would be... I would assume very easy to destroy, and it actually is. It's very nimble. You can tell by its agility. It's 13, so yeah, its agility is pretty high. Okay, so let's do thrust. Should be able to hit. Yeah, okay. Zeira is not moving, which is actually very interesting. Usually he would have taken off by now. Okay, so let's have Galvus sit. What ability does he have? Melting Flare. Okay, so we're gonna bring Galvus 2 spaces up. We're gonna use Melting Flare on Imperial 8. That is very low accuracy. His dexterity is 7, so that means his accuracy is gonna be really low. As for Andrew, just keep peppering them with Turbulence. Bastion will eventually appear, and at that point we can start launching an actual assault. Although not going straight for Faulkner, of course. We could end up dying, right? And the goal of this stream is to keep everybody alive, especially Devlin. We want to keep his relationship with Bastion as high as possible in order to make sure we get the best ending. Okay, so looks like level 9, and we use Fireball. Yeah, looks good. Oh, okay. So what did he do? He must have either parried or reflected attack. Okay, now since they're behind Galvus, we can use either Long Thrust, which has a 100% chance, or Ice Shards. And it's 99% chance, but when I see 99%, I just automatically round up to 100, because that's effectively what it becomes. Okay, so we have a Frozen Empire guy. We'll lower the attack further. There we go. And so that ATAC we hit has a lower attack power, which is good. Actually really good. Okay, Barlow, get the kill. There we go. Now what I'm trying to do with Barlow is, like I stated before, do I want him to have the Earth Jewel so that he can be a healer? Or do I want him to have the Wind Jewel so he can spam Turbulence? This is where, at this point, we really have to start discreting stats properly, because if we try to do it further on, what happens is that your allies will die much faster, therefore they will have a harder time getting experience. So let us instead, let's have him become a Turbulence guy. So we'll increase our dexterity, and we'll have to change his jewel to emerald as soon as we manage to get to a shop. Alright, so again, turbulence, or sorry, apologies. Actually, maybe tornado. Just keep reducing this ATAC's attack power. Okay, Barlow is definitely able to hold his own. He's barely taking any damage, which is good, and he's actually avoiding. Alright, unfortunately we have no attacks that can hit in a straight line. So you can only hit them one at a time. Alright, Galvis, let's use Fireball again, and we have frozen him. That's good. Now let's use Searing Flame, and we'll use it on Reyna. This will increase her weapon attack power. So because of that, we need to switch over to using Long Thrust rather than Ice Shards. Because Long Thrust is a weapon, therefore it will get the attack boost, rather than Ice Shards, which is just an elemental attack, which does not get the weapon stat boost. Okay, let's use counter here. Go. Okay, Zeira still has not moved, which is fascinating. Here we go, here's Bastion. Alright, so he's finally appeared with Ultragunner. That's a good thing. Reyna's very impressed. So is Galvis, of course. Galvis is always impressed when it comes to Bastion. And Barlow's hungry. Yeah, Andrew's being Andrew. Devlin is happy he's shown up, and Zeira is in awe. Alright, excellent. Now we're going to get some back and forth between Bastion and Faulkner, where Faulkner plays his trump card against Bastion. So we just have to get through this dialogue a little bit. And here we go. Faulkner expects Ultragunner as a gift. And Bastion is definitely not going to spit in a bucket in order to put out Faulkner. Alright, here we go. Now he has his hostage, Melia. Now, unfortunately, after this battle, Melia is going to vanish from sight, but that leads to the events. That's a mandatory event in which we will end up being able to recruit her. Assuming we fulfill the requirement of not exceeding level 20. So we have to make sure we do not get to level 20. Okay, Melia wants to make the noble sacrifice, in that she will be sacrificed so that Bastion will not give over Ultragunner. And Faulkner just basically said he will cleave Melia in two on the count of 5 if Bastion doesn't hand over Ultragunner. That is insanely brutal, but considering what we know about Faulkner, Faulkner is a very cruel villain, and he does not really care about life, only his own grudge against the world. Alright, Bastion has decided to give Ultragunner over to Faulkner. Melia is saddened and angry all at the same time, and relieved all at the same time. Enter Princess Sadira. Now, Sadira is a very interesting character. Although she is technically an enemy, she's also insanely noble and hot-headed all at the exact same time. She clearly values justice and honesty, even in war. And Faulkner being still under the Empire's orders, he has to actually obey her, and she wants Melia to be released. As you can see, Sadira herself also doesn't can order his arrest, even though Faulkner really is, I guess, not the leader of the Junar's Empire, but holds so much sway in the Empire that he could overthrow it in, I would assume, in an instant. But right now, it's obvious that Sadira can still control him. Bastion is, of course, happy. Sadira is, of course, bashful. Okay, now they're gonna leave. The fortunate thing is they're not going to fight with us, so we don't have to worry about them stealing experience. Okay, here we go. We can continue battle now. And it's basically going to be the same thing. It's just we're going to have an easier time because Bastion has Ultragunner now. Okay, so Reyna's got her experience. And she has not leveled up. So we need 70 more experience. Now, we'll continue keeping her in the back. We'll continue leaving Galvus up front in order to soak up damage. And he really needs an accuracy boost. So I do, even though we are going to get Burning Soul for Devlin, and that requires increasing power and base, we still need to increase his accuracy. Otherwise, Burning Soul, which is an insanely powerful fire attack, by the way, won't be able to hit as often as we'd like. Barlow's turn. He has Turn Quick. Okay, so we'll use Turn Quick since he only has Thrust, right? So it's better to just use Turn Quick on the enemy so that hopefully we can attack it from behind. Okay, and there we go. All fine, dandy. Okay, Zeira now moves because Bastion is on the field, so now we know that. Now, although Faulkner is pretty dangerous, the good thing about this is that our levels are now high enough to actually compete with him properly. So if we look at his level 15, right? His stats are pretty balanced. He's definitely powerful and he has his fire attack. The only thing we need to really watch out for here is Melting Flare. That will reduce our attack power. And he also has Mass Menace, which basically creates control zones around the character who has it. And if an enemy passes through those control zones, then they would lose more AP than normal. I don't know exactly how much, but I do know that, let's say, if you could move 5 blocks ahead, if you move past a control zone, then you could, from understanding, you would be using twice as much AP, or you'd be stuck inside the control zone. Alright, so we'll just continue using Strong Thrust. We need to bring Bastion up forward so we can get some more experience. As for Galvus, let's just keep him here still, obviously, right? We're going to keep peppering the Empire in order to get a minor amount of experience for Reyna and Andrew. Okay, let's end this. Reyna is going to go behind, and since she still has... Oh, she doesn't have her weapon stat boost, so let's use Ice Shards instead. Okay, and let's actually move her to the side. Bastion can take the kill. Okay, Devlin. Unfortunately, his dexterity is really low. What the heck? Okay, so I've been using Melting Flare the whole time. A negative 20% to your accuracy. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. I've only been hitting for 21. Actually, for Devlin against an enemy was about 20%. But I guess they were avoiding it. It means their agility is very high. Now the question is, can I one-shot that Empire soldier that just attacked Zeira? Oh shoot, why'd I do that? Dang it. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so I have an option. Do I wipe this guy out? Or do I try and wipe out this guy and go for him before Zeira takes the kill? No. The ideal kill I should take will be the one right in front of me. Let's see. So we have Long Thrust now, which is interesting. Okay. It's interesting in that that's a sword, and Long Thrust is primarily for spears and long-range weapons. So it's just actually very interesting. Okay, so do Long Thrust. Get the experience. 48. Okay, why? Because he's level 13 and the enemy has a level of 9. For new players, if you come across an enemy who's at a level that's lower than yours and not equal, then you face a drastic reduction in the amount of experience you get. If you face an enemy who has a higher level than your current character who makes the kill, the amount of experience you get is pretty massive. The larger the experience, the larger the level difference. So if you can, always try and have your low level characters make the kill if you want them to be strong enough to handle the future battles. Okay, let's leave Bastion here. Imperial 7 should move up. No, he's going behind the other Imperial, which is interesting. Okay, Andrew. Let's move him forward. Actually, first off, let's see. Where's Imperial 8 going to move to? Okay, he's not even on the board. Okay, so he's not going to move for a while. Let's move Andrew up forward. We'll do a strong thrust on him. There we go. Barlow can, of course, make his attacks. But first, because we have Turnquake and we only have thrust and slash, we can safely use Turnquake first and try and be able to get a back attack. There we go. Now Barlow is safe to attack instead of being attacked back. I think that's the simplest way to put it. I think that's the only way to put it. Okay, so as you can see, 71% though, his dexterity is pretty low. Even with that hit percent boost we get from Fireball of 15%, it's still pretty low. Okay, glad we got that. And I'm glad we attacked from the front. Here we go. Alright, so Lord Alden is Ultragunner. That is Melior, and this here is the King of Hibernia. Okay, so he's basically here to be a neutral witness to the battle that's unfolding here. Which personally, I don't understand why he's here, other than just to be here. Yeah, it's explained why though, why he's actually here. Okay, so Faulkner's wondering why he wants him to join the if he's finally going to join the Empire. Alden is completely neutral all the time. When we meet Alden in the future, he will explain why he's neutral. Yeah, so he does care, right? He just seems cold. Okay, so we're back to battling. Faulkner, oh, he's not moving anymore. Alright, let's bring this guy, let's FP boost him. Andrew, he can also... Level 13. Let me double check on what mission we need to make sure that... there's a certain mission where you have to make sure that you're below level 20. What mission is that again? It is... Mission 18, Chapter 15. So we're at Chapter 9 right now. So if I continue on the current course and level up a minimum of 1 time per battle, then he should be within range. Okay. So if I didn't explain it, like, sometimes I talk and I don't explain myself properly. We need to keep him below level 20. He can't be level 20 at all. Otherwise, when we finally have an opportunity to recruit Melia, it's going to be impossible. So we have to make sure that we're below level 20. Okay, he's going to wipe him out in one shot. Nice. Okay, Bastion, you're still level 13. Oh, 247 experience left. Okay, I think he can attack maybe a few more times and still be fine. We have Lightning Strike. So Lightning Strike is a very spammable attack. Not only is it very powerful until you get, I believe, Splitting Smash, it also has a knockdown ability, which means... Oh, he's... Okay, so first off, let's talk about this first. Since he's going to be frozen, do not avoid, okay? He's going to be frozen regardless of whatever happens in the battle. So, defending, avoid doing that. Instead, focus on just using your strongest attack. It's going to be better because you can actually kill the enemy, even though you'll take a lot of damage, but you're going to be frozen anyways. So just make the attack rather than avoiding it. And you also have the benefit of getting the experience. Okay, Barlow is pretty low on HP. Let's move him forward. And Zeira should be chasing the Empire. Yep, chasing the Imperial soldiers. And as for Andrew, let's continue just peppering, like, hitting everybody with him. Move Reyna up a little bit. We can get her to use Ice Shards. Okay, so in order to get Reyna's trick, we are going to actually need to increase her base and dexterity. The rest of her stats can stay at 7, so this has to be 7, defense has to be 7. So we need base and dexterity to be 16 and 20 respectively. So we're going to keep it like this. And for the next few times that she levels up, we're going to start focusing on increasing her base and her dex. This way we end up with both Cooling Mist, and which will decrease the FP of surrounding allies within 2 spaces, which is, trust me, this is going to be very useful in future battles. And we can also get Reyna's Trick, which is surprisingly a very powerful water attack. Unique to Reyna, by the way, so she's the only one who can actually learn it. It seems pointless that Alden and Melior get selected to see what they do, right? Just because they are neutral characters and they don't actually do anything in here. They're literally just sitting. Okay, so let's see what we can do. I believe Turbulence is 30. No, it's 10 AP. So the reason why Turbulence is insanely useful is because the amount of AP usage is insanely low. 10 AP for an attack that can hit 4 spaces away. That's really something that makes it OP. So what we can do here is make sure we're 4 spaces away from Faulkner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. Actually, you can actually go right here, and we can just keep peppering him with Turbulence. There's no other reason to do this other than to get some extra experience for whoever's hitting him, right? Okay, Melting Flare. We still increased his the Imperial Soldier's FP. Great. Okay, it's actually good. The higher their FP, when they get to a certain FP, they will no longer make any moves. So, as you can see, nothing happened. And we can still safely wipe this guy up because of the level difference. We're gonna get a low amount of experience. Let's keep Bastion moving forward. Barlow can also move forward too. Let's see. So if he uses a skill here, he'll have 20 AP left, which means we won't actually be able to do an attack. So we'll just use a normal thrust and hope he blocks it, but he didn't block it, but that's okay. Like I said, we're focusing on getting Barlow's dexterity stat up so that when we switch him over to a Wind Jewel, we'll end up getting Turbulence for him. So Devlin is still frozen, which is okay, right? The whole point of keeping Devlin alive is so that his relationship with Bastion doesn't worsen, right? Because we're trying to keep it above +7, and that is actually a very hard thing to do, especially with Devlin, because if he dies, you lose him. I don't know if it's fixed between every character in terms of relationship points, but with Devlin, as far as I know, everybody who's ever played this game has reported that Devlin will kill your relationship and make it basically make it very possible to get the bad ending. So keeping Devlin alive is the ideal thing to do in every battle. Okay, let's move Gallus forward. We can use Melting Flare again, but I don't think he can hit this guy, Imperial 2, really well. Actually, he might be able to. The agility is 7, and Gallus's dexterity is also 7. One thing I'm curious about is if the stat points are equal, like say dexterity 7, agility 7, will the accuracy be 99? Will be fascinating. So I wonder what's the difference between one stat point, right? Would it be a 10% difference, 20%, 15%? That's something to actually look into. Now, the good thing about this is he's frozen, which leaves him very vulnerable for Reyna to wipe out. Andrew doing his Andrew thing, so we could counterattack, but he's at risk of being frozen. Andrew gets frozen because he's a ninja. His ATC is a ninja type. Defense of ninja types, ATCs are very low, right? Let's take a look. Defense 11, that's actually really low. So his agility is really high, but that's only useful when he's not frozen. He doesn't have any real dormant skills to protect him while he's frozen too. Like if he had parry or reflect attack, he could parry, which means dodge the attack, or reflect attack, which basically means counter attack. Even when he's frozen, it's an ability that dormant abilities activate even if they're frozen. So let's move him back, and we shall attack Faulkner again. Go. keep prepping Faulkner. So Faulkner's at FP 80, right? So he won't actually move at this point. He will. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So Bastion didn't move. My bad. So Faulkner won't move because his FP is at 80, right? That or he'll move and just not do an attack. But from what I witnessed, they won't attack when their FP is at 80. And I forgot to do Earthquake. Okay, so Reyna's going to use her, not Ice Storm, we'll use Ice Shards. Go. Andrew again can use Turbulence, and he's going to freeze Faulkner, basically leaving him completely vulnerable. Now, because there's a level difference of 2, Bastion's going to get a ton of experience. I'm in a debate situation here. Do I want to defeat him right now? Because I feel if he defeats Faulkner, he'll get enough experience to get to level 15. Which makes it harder to stay within the level... sub-level 20. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just defeat Faulkner here. Well, not defeat him, like actually damage him, right? Oh my god, that was a massive amount of experience. Okay, so what attack do I want from this? So in order to get Splitting Smash. Oh right. I remember now. Okay, so I said this at I believe stream 1 or 2. I can't remember exactly. I apologize, but the power of Ultragunner comes from a balanced stat base, right? No, sorry, balanced stat pool. So as you can see, it's a bit varied right now. We have base at 6, power 10, etc, etc, etc. In order to unlock Ultragunner's true power, right, his Soaring Dance, his ultimate move, which is insanely powerful, but it leaves you insanely vulnerable, right? Kind of like a kamikaze attack. You need to have your stat points at equal amounts, right? So in order to get Splitting Smash, which is the more useful ability, you actually have to get base all your stats to 17 at minimum. So we can instead just increase his base all the way up, and I believe he still has his... Okay, so yeah, we can increase... What was I going to say? We can increase his stats so that all of them are 17, and then also when we get a high enough base stat, we will unlock Bastion's Holy Light support ability. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Holy Light support ability. And we need a base stat of 18. So next time we level up, we should be able to get it. Okay, Zeira, he should... Did he kill that guy? No. Okay, he's going to freeze him. Good. Now Barlow's going to make the kill. There we go. Now we're going to make Barlow run away so he doesn't die. Even though he probably could survive. Actually, no. Let's keep him near Devlin. Just in case, right? We need to keep Devlin alive. And we'll use Searing Flame on Andrew. Not that we need to, right? Because he's basically his main attack for us is to use Turbulence the whole time. Oh. Now why did that happen? Let's examine it. Okay. So there was he had no dormant... Imperial 4 had no dormant abilities like parry or reflect attack, which could have prevented him being attacked. So this was just pure luck, in which 99% did not count as... It did not guarantee a hit. Okay, let's go with Strong Thrust. Okay, he's gonna wipe him out. Almost gonna wipe him out. He's just about to level up. Now Reyna, you get the kill. Almost about to level up. Good. Now Parry 1 should attack. I would assume it would have attacked a Bastion, but I guess that's not the case. We'll use Ice Storm so we can reduce its agility. Oh, it missed. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're still strong enough to handle this battle. Okay, Faulkner is still down. I think I should defeat Faulkner. Nobody should leave. Then, if you defeat Faulkner, it's my understanding that all the enemy ATCs will actually stay put. They won't disappear with Faulkner. But there's also a risk. The experience risk. We're going to be able to level up but there are times if you defeat an enemy who is multiple levels higher than you, you can level up more than once. There's no way we're gonna level up to level 20 from here, but we're gonna get pretty close if I defeat Faulkner. Let us not attack Faulkner because we want to make sure we get Melia. Let's instead move over to here, and we'll let Reyna take the Faulkner kill. Okay, this is very frustrating. Okay, so Faulkner took too much damage, so he ran away. So I should have just defeated him with Ultragunner. This is the thing about this game. You can't. There are multiple points in the game that unless you've played it before and know the exact HP or HP percentage at which the enemy will run if they sustain too much damage, you're going to miss out on that amount of experience. I've done that a few times in the previous missions, and it is very frustrating. But the good thing is that Imperial ATCs have stayed. Okay, Galvus is going to leave, so let's continue using Melting Flare. Suggest the camera angle here. Actually, no, we'll use Searing Flame on Reyna. That way her thrust will actually be stronger. Okay, and Reyna. Normal thrust. Okay, can we make it to the back without using up too much AP? Yes, we can. Here we go, back attack. Nice. Okay, so I believe I said we're to start focusing on her base, right? Let's increase her base. And with this, she should have no... she does have strong thrust though, so that's actually a good thing. And Barlow is going to... He has no 2-space attacks, so we'll just move him here. Andrew can again use Turbulence. And strong flash. Ouch. It's actually a big hit. A Bastion's turn. Now what level are they? Level 11, and we are level 14. So we're not going to get a ton of experience, so that's good. We can focus on just using Lightning Strike the whole time. Okay, can't attack from the back with Devlin, so let's run this way. Okay, Reyna should be able to counterattack perfectly fine. Oh no, she's going to freeze if I do that. Andrew. So Andrew has the Dormant ability called Assassinate. It's a very powerful ability for ninjas in that if you attack from the rear with Assassinate, the Dormant ability Assassinate, you actually do extra damage. So these kind of characters are perfect for back attacks. Massive. 46 damage. Okay, let's end this here. Move Galvus, we'll use Melting Flare. There we go. Give him a bit of experience. Barlow is going to die, so let's... Tricky, I'm very reluctant to have Zeira take the experience, but I'm also wanting to keep Barlow alive too, right? We still got to keep his happiness with Bastion up. Okay, so we'll use Reyna Strong Thrust. Alright, and that Bastion can again use Lightning Strike. There we go. And Andrew can make his Strong Thrust to finish him off. Alright, there we go. Now we just need to try and make it to the final Imperial and get the experience before Zeira takes him, which I think Andrew can make it there in time. Ninjas have a huge movement range. Okay, Barlow needs to run too. And Gallus can stay put. Yes, we should be able to make it before Zeira wipes out that Imperial. The good thing about Zeira is he doesn't do back attacks, right? He always attacks from the front or side. So that's something you can use to your advantage. There we go, and we just use Turbulence. Okay, it looks like Andrew's going to be able to get the kill. Zeira's turn now. No, it's not. Okay. So if I move back here, can I one-shot him? No. Okay, so I'm not going... I'm just going to use Tornado right now, just to weaken the Imperial Soldier quite a bit, so that Zeira can continue weakening, can continue attacking, but not defeating. Okay, let's... right here. There we go. Now we're just not going to attack... Actually, wait, should we? No, we're not going to attack with Bastion. We still got to keep his experience count low. Almost. We're almost there. Last one. We'll end here. Does he have double attack? Well, double attack is a Dormant ability. Or was it second attack? I believe it's... Let's double check this. So second attack can allow you to do 2 attacks in 1 turn. So he doesn't have it, which is interesting that he got to attack again pretty quickly. So he's going to do his last attack, and Andrew or Reyna, whoever gets to the Imperial Soldier first, will make the kill. Okay, Andrew's first. Strong thrust. Enough. Yes, nice. Fantastic. Okay, so ideally we'd want to max out his agility because he's a ninja, but we also want him to be able to hit everything, right? So we can increase his dexterity along with his agility. Actually, no. We're going to get level 4 Wind Jewel at some point, which will increase the agility further. So instead, let's focus on increasing his 1 to power and 2 to dex. We'll keep doing it in that pattern. No, wait a second. Apologies. There is 1 attack we can get with the Wind Jewel. That one is called Wind Strike. It's actually a very powerful attack. So, and he can also get Somersault, which is also an insanely powerful attack. It's one of the most accurate attacks in the game, giving a plus 50% to the hit percentage, so it's almost guaranteed to hit. That requires the level 4 Wind Jewel Jade. So we're gonna aim for Wind Strike right now with Andrew, and that requires us to have 18 dexterity and 12 agility. Yes. So 18 dexterity it is. There we go. So 2 more levels, and we'll be able to get Wind Strike. Okay, battle's ended. Alden expected Ultragunner to win, right? And Bastion's going to try and recruit Alden. But Alden being neutral, like truly neutral, he's actually a truly neutral country. He will not ally with anyone. And if you look very closely at Melior, she's the woman who's with Alden. Her appearance is insanely similar to Devlin. And I can leave it to you to gander of why they look very similar. Okay, so now from here, they're just going to explain... Bastion's going to explain how he managed to find Ultragunner. Making jokes, of course, and Barlow is hungry as usual, but he just really likes eating. That's cool. Zeira wants to know, as well as everybody, how Bastion managed to find Ultragunner. Okay, so it's immense. Ultragunner, right? Yep. So without Gratia, there's no possible way to know that the Ultragunner was actually the statue the entire time. Now, one thing to think about is that was the statue appearance an illusion, or was Ultragunner itself a statue, right? And Gratia just removed the magic that petrified the Ultragunner. Yeah, that statue. Biggest, baddest ATC of them all. Nice, Andrew. Of course, he makes the funniest quips. Reyna, awesome. And Galvez, the ultimate, how do you put it? He's that kind of character who has, like, true faith in whoever they serve, right? Although he has issues with Bastion and how Bastion himself is purely a noble character. So that leads him to make decisions that Galvus would otherwise normally reject, because he's a military mind through and through. Okay, so now we're talking about how Melia is missing, right? And we talked about this earlier during the battle when Faulkner was holding her hostage. Okay, I need to be quiet now because there is sirens outside. Apologies. Okay, the puck appeared now, and he's just gonna basically say that Melia has run off, and everybody's gonna do an area-wide search for her. Yeah. There we go. So nobody could find her, but everybody don't worry. She's actually safe and sound, so we don't have to worry about her. We're gonna see her in a few chapters. So there's a messenger from Avalon. This one is the next mission is where we'll finally be able to control Zeira. So this is actually a very good thing. Zeira's not gonna be able to snipe experience, and we can actually use him now properly. Yes. How much faith Zeira has in Ione. He truly believes that she could actually be the next leader of Avalon. Bastion is going, like I said, Bastion is a very noble character. So what the plan here is for Bastion to abandon the search for Melia because of his noble personality. Now, anyways, his personality now is noble. He was very bloodthirsty when he was prior to getting Gratia, right? But now he's taken a noble route and assisting a friend in a massive problem that can actually be solved rather than a problem that cannot be solved. Okay, Andrews, everyone here except Galvus is going to stay with the party from now on. Okay, now we're leaving the Junar's Empire and heading back to Pharastic Kingdom. Oh, right. It's right here. We lose Galvus at this moment. This is where we stop being able to use him. So Galvus being the hard military stoic kind of guy, not stoic, like the hot-tempered guy, he cannot reveal that he's actually going to continue to search for Melia. He still has no trust in Andrew, of course. Can you really blame him? Andrew's like a womanizing turd, right? Alright, so we finished chapter 9, Legendary Light. That's perfect because now I don't believe we have any more choices we need to make which will diverge from a central route, right? The last 3 missions were points where we can actually from which point we can go to a different mission. But now it's just a singular route until we get to chapter 23. No, apologies. Until we get to chapter 19. At which point we talked about this earlier, where the game calculates your relationship with every single character, and if it's not +7, which is very hard to do unless you actually know the game, then you will end up getting the bad ending. So right now it's a straight shot towards the end of the game. Okay, let's first do interview. Let's see what happened with Devlin here. So Devlin's has not changed, which is good. He doesn't despise us. That's actually the good thing. Let's keep talking to him. Yes. Unfortunately, he drinks ice cold water, which is actually pretty insane. Okay. So, here we go. We talked to Devlin. We gotta keep his love for us up as much as possible. Now, we don't have any wind jewels yet to give Barlow, so we have to avoid that. Okay, Gamelon's Betrayal. Overwrite this. There we go. Now we are going to go into the next mission immediately. No, there's no real reason to avoid it, and there's no real reason to go into briefing at this moment. Or do anything else, for that matter. Alright, so this is a pretty shocking moment in that we learn who the rebellion leader is. You don't know this guy right now, but now, Sergeant Kaidul. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Sergeant Kaidul is responsible for this. Ione's own father, right? So this is Ione's father. He has a very good reason for this, by the way. Oh, he's looking to see. He was looking for Avalon to not be allies with the kingdom anymore. Yeah, he wants to fight only for Avalon now, instead of fighting for the kingdom, because the people of Avalon are actually suffering. Okay, so Zeira wants to continue the war because he wants to continue war because it's a distrust of the current state of the empire, right? Although Zeira is definitely a diplomat and can find peaceful resolutions, he knows that the current state of the empire means that they will not try to find ways of paths to peace, right? As for Kaidul, he wants to try and find a path to peace, even though he knows what the empire is like. Yeah, don't understand what kind of man Faulkner is. Sooner kill us all than sign a treaty. Exactly, right? And here are some soldiers who appeared. Kaidul is obviously shocked, and they're going to kill Zeira. As you can see, Kaidul didn't really intend for anyone to get hurt. Yeah. A man who cares about his country and his people specifically. That's what we cared about the most, and basically caused his downfall. Okay, right now we're gonna be surrounded, but it's really not a problem. Although it seems like a deadly situation, it's okay. We're perfectly fine. Wait for it. So we have no means of attack right now. Until hostages are safe and sound, we have to watch as we get attacked. No one should die, though, which is the good thing. There we go. Ione. Rescued all the people. Excellent. Good job. And now we can begin the attack. Let's avoid this. Now let's make sure we're attacking characters who are at a lower level than Bastion. Yep, okay. So, let's see. Okay, so we're going to focus Bastion on attacking Avalon 8 and 7. Just because their level is lower than his, so he will get a minimal amount of experience. Move Reyna up here and do long range attacks the whole time. Also use Ice Storm. That way we can reduce their avoid. We can reduce their avoid stat. And we'll move, let's see. You know, let's just keep oh, what's his name, Andrew here, and just use Turbulence. We'll also focus on Avalon 5 and 6, just so we can keep Devlin and Bandit. Devlin and Barlow alive. Okay, there we go. Barlow can use his Turnquake first. Super handy. Right now anyways. Just for that chance of doing back attacks. Okay, and we have not got our back attack, but that's okay. That's okay. It's just a chance that we're trying to aim for. And we have control of Zeira, as you can see. So let's see. Strong Thrust and Tornado, Roaring Wind. Now, Roaring Wind, apologies, is... what does it do? I don't even know what it does. Interesting. I don't know what Roaring Wind does. Very fascinating. So we can actually move Zeira wherever we want now. And since we're going to have full control from here on out, so he can now make kills. So let's move him here so we can't get surrounded. We'll have Devlin move up ahead. That way we can't get hit from the back. And we'll use Melting Flare. There we go. Okay, let's continue focusing our attacks on him. There we go. Now next turn we'll move Devlin forward and attack the frozen enemy. Oh, wait. Oops, apologies. My bad. You gotta use a void. Okay, Lightning Strike again. Apparently they're not going to move, which is interesting. They have Turbulence. That's actually not a good thing. Just means I'm gonna have to bring Bastion forward. That way Zeira doesn't get killed. Actually, no. Even if Zeira dies, it's fine. Because he's never gonna hate Bastion. Look at that. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever actually gone up here, by the way. In all my playthroughs, I've always ever hurled them up down here. I never thought to go up here. So, learn something new, end it here, and we shall use Turnquake, and hopefully get a back attack opportunity. There we go, back attack opportunity, fantastic. Okay, looks like you're coming towards us now, which is good. Means Zeira won't die. Possibly, of course, possibly. Okay, Turbulence on him. Yeah, looks good. Bastions can continue using Lightning Strike, apparently, because they're not going to attack. Andrew, again, is going to use Turbulence on him. And Reyna is going to use Long Thrust. Maybe. 13. Maybe no. You know, I'll use Strong Thrust and try and get this kill. Level her up a bit. For you, we need to move him up 1, and we need to attack with Fireball. There we go. Massive damage. Okay, so it was base and power. So we're going to increase his base by 2 and power by 1. He should have no new ability, right? He has Reflect Attack. Alright, so Reflect Attack basically just means when they're being attacked, he will poke the enemy in order to do a counterattack, if possible, if he actually managed to do that. It's not a guaranteed counterattack, but it is really useful. Okay, it looks like he can attack from there, but it looks like there's no height advantage here. So what I mean by that is the accuracy of the attacker won't drop depending on the height level, which to me is personally fascinating, because if you look at here and you look at the bottom left, 3H, that's 3 height, right? And it's 1H right here. So shouldn't that mean that the attacker would get an accuracy reduction? So it's just one of those fascinating things that you don't really think about until you start thinking about it. Yeah. That made sense. I hope it did. Alright, so increase agility, and he should not still have nothing. Yep, alright. Oh, fascinating. Now Avalon 7 is moving. Okay, so keep avoiding. Her agility is high enough that she should be able to dodge the majority of attacks. And we can hit him one more time. We're going to move behind Bastion's back. That way he can't back attack Bastion. And again, avoid. Okay, it doesn't matter that they're attacking Bastion. And let's just do that. Bastion's just getting bits of HP, bits of experience at a time. And you're going to try and attack him, but it's not exactly going to do anything really. So let's just do normal slash. Go. Bastion again. Oh, Flashing Fang is really good. It's like Tackle, except stronger, right? But it has a minus 20% accuracy. So right now it's useful. You're gonna see like high level 90 or higher accuracy, level 90, 90% accuracy or higher. But in future battles, it can become completely useless. So don't rely on it right now. Instead, focus solely on Lightning Strike. And once you get Splitting Smash, focus on using Splitting Smash. Okay, so we gotta attack him. That way they don't go too crazy on Reyna. Okay, let's avoid that. Okay, so from what we can do here, we can reduce their attack power, which is good. But the accuracy is very low, so we'll focus on just doing... Actually, no, let's focus on using Tornado, right? We can reduce their attack power because they're guaranteed to hit Zeira right now. And we will focus on using Strong Thrust. We will get this kill. Nice. Very good. And here, Barlow can attack him, right? But he should not be able to make the kill. He can make the kill. Okay, current level 11. And current level 11. What about you again? 12. I guess Barlow can make the kill then. 20. Okay. So I need to double check. What stats are required for Turbulence? For Turbulence requires 12 Dexterity and 10 Agility. Have we achieved that? Yes, we have. Alright. And then for Wind Strike, which is another thing we're going to need, but it's not exactly... We won't use it a lot for Barlow here. Like, it's obvious we're not going to. But we're just going to use him as Turbulence Spammer. So from here, we can increase his Dexterity, and we'll increase his base and power too. We want to increase his base so we can unlock support abilities, right? We'll leave power alone for now. And we have, there we go. Gaia Protect is although it increases your defense stat, it, in my opinion, isn't as useful as Cooling Mist, which will reduce FP. All allies within 2 spaces FP by, I believe it's actually a huge margin. I think it's 50 if I remember correctly. I have to double check that later. But I believe it's 50, and it's huge. It actually gives you a huge advantage in battles, especially future ones. Okay, let's avoid this. Can't avoid that. Okay. Bastion's going to go ahead and use this Lightning Strike, and Reyna can hopefully make that last kill. Actually, we're going to attack the Imperials right in front with Melting Flare, just because they're at an equal level. Okay, but we'll still get a decent amount of experience. Okay, Strong Thrust. Yes, let's do that. Andrew can go ahead and continue using Strong Thrust. Or maybe just use Turbulence, right? We'll make sure Reyna gets experience. Okay, Reyna can use Strong Thrust right here. Get the kill, and we can move to the side of the Imperial Soldier in front of us. Go. Are we attack Ultragunner? No, it's attacking her. Fascinating. Okay, 58% to counterattack, but her defense is really low, so if she gets hit, she's going to take a lot of damage. Let's avoid doing that for now. For Andrew, you can just continue using Strong Thrust the whole time. Like, there's no real reason at this point to... Let's see. I lost my train of thought. To focus on any other attack, really. So let's move him back. Just use Turbulence. Pretty sure I just went against what I just said. So we're just going to have Andrew use Turbulence the whole time. Oh crap. That was just a mindless move, by the way. That is not something you should emulate. Okay. Zeira. And that. Void. Oh, wait a second. Tactics. Annihilate the enemy. Now, what I just realized is if Zeira falls, is the battle over? I actually hope not. So we're gonna fight our way to Zeira. Well, we got kicked, but it's pretty useless. We're gonna fight our way to Zeira, and from there we're going to rescue him, just in case, because the battle conditions for losing, I don't believe they're ever known. The only one that's obvious is if Bastion falls. For obvious reasons, right? Okay, go. Andrew, let's move forward a little bit. We can use Turbulence on him. Okay, he's frozen. Good. Bastion. We're not going to... we gotta try and get to Zeira. Just wipe him out. Let's just wipe him out. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. So we're trying... I think I should try and get Holy Light right away. Do I have it now? There we go. Okay, let's try and get to Zeira now. I only killed that guy just to make sure that I could get the Zeira in time, because I don't know. Hopefully he can survive, right? But... dang it. Hopefully he can survive by the time I get there. That's what I'm hoping for. Oof. I don't know if him dying actually causes a loss. Because I've never actually had him die. That should be very clear about that. He's always managed to survive. So we'll leave Reyna back here. And she will continue using her thrust. There we go. And we'll attack with Barlow. No. We'll move Barlow, and we'll have Devlin finish off that soldier. Okay. Gonna have to defend this. Devlin, finish him off. Excellent. Burning Soul requires... oh man, again. It requires 16 to base and 20 to power. So the dexterity is pretty low, but okay. Let's instead focus on increasing his power and 1 to base. Follow that pattern until we get Flare Bomb, and then we'll start focusing on just increasing his power, I believe. Is that enough? I have to double check that. Okay, Zeira, if we move up here, can he end up being surrounded? That's the problem. How far can this guy move? Okay, we can't actually see. Dang it. We gotta keep him here. Like that. I think that's... yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. We gotta keep him right there. Because... I don't know. He might get surrounded if he... oh god. Oh god. Okay, good. He dodged that. That was luck. That was actually pure luck. Move Barlow. We'll try and do a pincer. Okay, Zeira, please no attacking. Okay, you can attack from behind from here or here. I think for safety we'll do it here. Strong thrust. Alright. Bastion can go right here, but he loses all his AP. Oh, I didn't do enough FP. Boost his FP enough. Oh, he's attacking. Okay, good. He's attacking Andrew. That's good. It's a good thing. Okay, they both missed, which is not a good thing. That's okay. Okay, we're actually doing pretty good. Usually by this point I would be having a hard time. Alright, let's do Slash. Can that wipe him up? No, it can't. Good. Yeah, let's just do it. Yeah. Good. 1 threat down. Whoa, that was massive. Dang it. That was actually really massive. We're going to try and get him to Turbulence. So increase his dexterity. Matches agility for now. And do we have it? Yes. Alright, so this is a good thing. He now has Turbulence. I think I should stay right here. If I move up, then this guy can, I believe, surround me. Let's end here. Let Andrew attack from the back. Strong thrust. Here we go. 9. Who's he gonna attack? Oh, here, doll. Thank you so much. Okay, it doesn't matter that Andrew is frozen. He's, well, it doesn't matter, actually. It really doesn't. So let us attack with Lightning Strike. Barlow has no 2 space attacks, but we can increase Andrew's defense stat. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. And Reyna can go ahead and use her long thrust. Or actually, which one's actually better? 89%. That's enough to hit it. There we go. Okay, so Reyna needs Reyna's trick. 16 and 20. So let's increase her base. There we go. Oh, Cooling Mist. The most beautiful attack ever. Okay. Take it. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, let's increase. Let's focus on increasing his agility and dexterity. We'll get 2 to agility and 1 to dex from now on for Zeira. It might change as we continue forward, right? Depending on what exactly we need from the party comps. But generally it's going to be 2 to agility, 1 to dexterity, because it's gonna be a turbulence spammer. I believe it's over. Okay, yeah, it is over. Alright, so the aftermath of a rebellion. No, apologies. It's actually called a coup d'etat. The aftermath of a coup d'etat is always like very hard to deal with, especially from someone who's well trusted. Okay. And there comes Ione, who should actually be feeling the worst, right? Because that's her own father who led the coup d'etat. She wants to quit, but Zeira obviously will not allow her to quit because it's not Ione's fault. The actions of another is not the fault of another. In majority of situations, right? So this is basically a reflective scene in which Zeira realizes that he's been putting too much emphasis on aiding Bastion, having fun, going on adventures, right? Because that's just really what's been happening, although it is in the context of trying to find Ultragunner and the means to stop the Empire, right? But it's like he's been having fun and leaving his country to sidelining his own country and the people who trust him, right? So he's having a reflective moment. And we see now that there were actually Imperial spies. So they were basically influencing decisions that were happening in Avalon. Yeah, convinced Ione's father, who was already having a tough time with Zeira not being not being the leader they need him to be. Faulkner's grand plan. Yes. Faulkner. He's a schemer too. Oh. So they realized that Faulkner knew Bastion would aid Zeira in settling the coup d'etat, right? Because Faulkner has already pegged Bastion as a noble figure who would never desert his friends, which is correct, right? You use the person's own personality against them. All right. Now the resolve is firmer now in that they are resolving to destroy Faulkner, which is the true villain of this game. Okay, so as much as Galvus searched, Melia is still missing. So they're not going to search for Melia anymore because they can't waste any more time. Although it's a terrible situation for Bastion, right? He's grown up with her, so yeah, it's just a tragic situation. Okay, sparked new optimism that the Empire is on the verge of collapse. Okay, so he's talking about how since the Ultragunner was found, it's a symbol of the kingdom's power. So now the kingdom is feeling good about their chances of winning the war. General Thomson. Okay. Okay, so General Thomson launched an attack upon learning that Ultragunner was found on the Empire, and now is in need of rescue. And that's our next mission. But first, ATAC of Duke Radcott of the Muscle Nation. Now, we know in the previous stream that Radcott was assassinated. So who could it be? We will find out in a moment. Young girl. So, there she is. Our cute, adorable Nana has returned. And because we fulfilled the conditions of meeting with Radcott in a desert and losing to Radcott in the desert, we are now able to take Nana as a soldier. And of course, so if you weren't here for last stream, she witnessed her father being assassinated. That's why she actually came to the one person she felt she could trust, Bastion. Yeah. And that is why Radcott was assassinated, because he couldn't manage to get Gradia or Bastion. So Nana now going to fight alongside the kingdom in order to take revenge against Faulkner. Kind of like it's a comparison point between Bastion and Nana, where Bastion wanted to hunt Faulkner because he killed Alucard, or Camorsh, as Bastion knew him as. And Nana wants to hunt Faulkner and kill him because Faulkner had her father assassinated. And Reyna. There we go. Okay, so with Zeira's, with Reyna's approval and as well as Zeira's approval, which is interesting. Zeira seems like he would never approve it, but he did. Nana is now going to be a part of our team. And Reyna is now going to be her teacher, or otherwise known as Aunt Reyna. Well, Reyna has a little sister, and Nana has a big sister now. So they found Thomson being ambushed. So let's see what happens here. Great, we can actually hit the shop, which is a good thing. But first, we're gonna save in case we make a mistake in our purchase. Saving after every battle is vitally important, right? And let's go to equip first before we go to the shop. Let's see that we buy the things we actually need, right? So Nana should be here. There she is. She's in Bahamut. And she has Carnelian and Demi-Rune. So because this is, I believe they're called excavated ATACs, which really just means they're legendary ATACs. They always have locked weapons as well as a locked jewel. The only thing that changes is the accessory, and generally you won't ever really need to, but if you want specific skills like dormant abilities, you can get them more easily for characters with accessory rather than boosting stats. Alright, so actually gotta check Barlow first. Gotta change this to, let's see, turquoise is not a wind jewel, barrel. Okay, so we have to give Barlow buy Barlow a wind jewel, as well as we need to upgrade their weapons too. And anyone else need anything? I was so sure Galvus left us. I'm sure he leaves us at some point. Unless I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong though, but very sure he leaves. Nana is a permanent character. So everybody is a permanent character. But now I have a question mark over Galvus. let's just go into the shop, get the required. We'll first buy the weapons, and then we'll buy the jewel. Okay, weapons, and it should be Darkblade. Now, this is, if you never used the shop before, it's ordered by weapon type. So, Precious, Quicksilver, and Darkblade, they're all swords, right? And then Partisan and Trident are the spears, and this is the katanas. So you can actually see how much you have by looking at the EQU, that's equip, 00, and all 00. Equip means how many are equipped, all means how many are actually in your stash storage. So we know Andrew has equipped 1 because he's the only way to equip it. So we can buy ourselves a slashing iron to increase the weapon power as well as our agility. As for Reyna, she needs a new spear, and then we have Darkblade. Bastion no longer needs any kind of weapon. He's going to stay with Ultragunner's default sword the whole time. So we are not going to buy Galvus a Darkblade yet. He doesn't need it. Now we need stones. Oh, apologies, they're called stones. I could have sworn they were called jewels. Okay, so we need Sapphire for Reyna. That's the water jewel, the water stone. We need Ruby for Devlin. And then we need Olivine for Arlo. Let's see. So Assassin Coat of Arms, that gives you the dormant ability of Assassinate. This is what Andrew already has. It's where you attack from behind and do extra damage. Warrior Coat of Arms is a frontal. You get frontal assault, front menace. Forward, no, not forward menace. What am I talking about? It's called wait, what is it called? I believe it's called Chivalry. Unless it's forward menace. I'm not gonna buy it. I don't think I should buy it. You know what? Let us... Yeah, let's just buy one of this. I want to see first what it does, right? Because we can see what dormant ability is by equipping it on a character, and then it would be useful if it actually is frontal assault. So, Coat of Arms. Front Menace. Okay, so Front Menace. This one is when I talked about control zones earlier. If an enemy moves in front of a character who has this, then they will lose more AP than normal, right? So effectively, they'll just end up stopping in front of the character. So instead, we'll keep Warrior Coat of Arms on Devlin, right? And let's change their stones. So Reyna's gonna need her new Water Stone, which would be Sapphire. Won't keep Fairy there for now. He's going to need Opal? No. Topaz? When was it? Ruby. Arlo's going to need Jasper. No, that's wrong one there. Olivine. Galvus can keep Jasper. Olivine. Oh, he already has Olivine. Okay. Nana has that. Okay, so we're going to change the weapons now. So Darkblade. Where are you? Totally wrong one. It's actually Slashing Iron. And Arlo, here we are. This one is Darkblade. As you can see, their weapon stat is actually increasing. So that's actually a good thing. It means their weapons will do more damage. Trident and Bastion has nothing. With him, we can give him really any kind of accessory. He's actually really strong all by himself. But personally, I kind of like the accessories that give him more attack power, such as like Assassinate, right? If you hit from the back with Lightning Strike or Spling Smash, oof, that's insane. You don't really need to work on his base, right? Although it's ideal, you can get second attack dormant ability, which allows you to attack a second time in a single turn. So that's actually really useful. And in order to get, let's see, second attack, you need to have a base of 16. The only ones who can actually equip that from our current party is Bastion, Andrew, Devlin, and Zeira. So we have to get them to base 16. Maybe we'll do that. We'll buy items that increase their base. So you get that. And then Andrew and Devlin. So Devlin already has Warrior Coat of Arms. Andrew has... What the heck does he have? Wind Necklace, right. His agility is really high as it is, so maybe we'll just give him the Holy Headband anyways. There's a certain point at which agility doesn't really matter, especially in the later battles. So, he's an armor amulet. I thought he had the wind necklace. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. +4 to base. And Devlin. Yeah, that's like no, that's just really interesting that he had that. That he had the armor amulet rather than the wind necklace. Okay, let's see what Bastion got. Okay. Okay, Andrew got nothing else except Roaring Wind, which is a wind element support ability. It'll just increase our dexterity. Okay, so interview. Okay, can't forget about this. Devlin, my friend, what are you doing? Come on. So it's a very sad face for Devlin. That's really common when it comes to Devlin. So it makes it very scary. Because once we get to chapter 19, when we complete chapter 19, that's the point at which we can we'll know whether we get the bad or good ending. And because Devlin is really hard to plan for, we can easily get the bad ending. Oh, actually, would you look at that? We actually got Nana, so I'm actually changed the title of the stream. Give me 1 second. And we're gonna go to Recruiting Melia. There we go. Title of the stream has now been changed to Recruiting Melia. Just for accuracy purposes, of course. Now, there we go. Okay, introducing himself as Galvus Darid. Thomson, the Northern Corps Commander, of course. And chosen to arrive at excellent moment. Yep, great. Alright, so currently we are in the middle of a rescue mission. Not exactly a rescue mission, as you'll find out soon enough, but right now it actually is. Turbulence on Imperial 3, they are really weak, so don't worry too much about getting killed just yet. We're going to see a familiar face in a little bit. That, Reyna, he shouldn't have any new skills except for Cooling Mist. Yeah. Dash can double check their levels. So 6, so they have very low level, 11, and Thomson is level 14. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just wipe everybody out. Barlow, he should have. Oh yeah, that's right, I switched it. Forgot. I was looking for his Earth ability. Zeiras also has Turbulence. Go, and Nana has absolutely nothing right now. Until, of course. Oh wait, she does have something. Earth Heal. That's actually really useful. So she's very prone to dying because of her insanely low level. She's level 6 right now. So we have to try and level her up. Just before we get too close to chapter 15. It gets pretty brutal at around that point. No, we'll leave that for Nana. Forgot about those guys. Yeah, so we have AI controlled allies again. As you just seen, they do snipe kills, so being extra careful, not being extra careful, but being extra attentive to AI characters is really vital. I think from here on though, we don't have any more AI allies. From what I can remember anyways. I think this is the last time we have to deal with this. Okay, they're gonna wipe him up really quick unless I do something here. Up here. Use Strong Thrust. Bastion can wipe out that Imperial. That way they don't get the kill. Oh, he can't. Well, he can damage him enough. Barlow can let him out. Good. Right. Doing great. We're doing good so far. Now let's position Barlow right here. And we'll move Andrew and take this guy. Take this last Imperial down. I believe we should be able to. Or not. Nana cannot reach it, but that's okay. We'll stop her right here, and she'll give Bastion a defense boost. Let's end this. Thomson is apparently not going to move, but that's okay. Okay, that should be fine. There we go. Mission accomplished. So, suspicious line. Interesting, yes. Okay, so here we go. Here's the ambush. And even though it is Zakov and we had trouble with him back at Araba Castle, he's not as dangerous as he used to be. For Nana, he is dangerous because he's such a low level. And we're also going to be surrounded by the Kingdom Trader soldiers just in front of us too. So, we have to be careful. We have to be slightly careful at this point. Okay, so Thomson has betrayed the kingdom for a very noble reason, by the way. And Zakov is losing it, as is the norm. Now, as you can see from these lines, we know that these soldiers have no clue, had no clue of Thomson's betrayal. Now the question is, can we attack them? And the answer to that is, yes, we still can. Shockingly enough, even though they have expressed that they don't know what the heck's going on, they are still attackable, as you can see. Okay, let's do a side attack. Actually, let's just move here with Devlin, and we shall do a normal attack. We'll do tackle. No, we missed. Okay. Andrew can attack from behind, as his is priority. Okay, let's wipe him up quickly before we get surrounded. And unfortunately, even though those kingdom soldiers aren't aware of Thomson's betrayal, they aren't attacking me. And Thomson's trying to force them to attack. As strange as it is, but let's just keep attacking, because unfortunately we actually have to fight them. Okay, Barlow can... Let's double check Nana first. What does she have? Strong thrust, long thrust, and quicksand. Okay, we'll stick Barlow right here. He will block the attacks and hit with... Oh, wait a second. It's Tornado and Turbulence. I forgot. That's what I was going to do. So we're going to put Nana right here first, and we're going to put Gaia Protect on Barlow. He's going to be a tank of sorts until we move someone with more agility or more defense in front, like Galvis, for instance. Right, so the King soldiers have been riled to action by their commander, even though they know something's wrong. Okay, let's move you out of the way. And we'll put Zeira right behind Nana. And we'll spam Turbulence from there. Alright. So, for him, we need to make sure we do again? We need to make sure we get Wind Strike. So that's 18 Dexterity and 12. Oh, I think that's enough, actually. Let's see. There we go, Wind Strike. So the reason I'm saying I think it's enough is because those white bars that you see in the stat line, they actually are from equipment, right? So when you're leveling up, you don't actually... It doesn't sum those into the number that you see. So you have to add it yourself. So we just needed 18 Dexterity. Now, the last move we need for Andrew is Somersault. It's an insanely powerful attack. We just need to put one more stat point into Dexterity, and we got it. From there, we can start focusing on just increasing his power, or even maximizing his agility, or increasing his base. So, we have multiple paths we can take with Andrew once we get Somersault. Okay, let's use... Shockingly, it's actually doing pretty good. Okay, let's use Tornado. We can weaken him at the same time as getting experience. Okay, Reyna can... Let's have her here. She can hit Zakov, because I believe Zakov doesn't run away, but for that, don't take it as I know for sure. Take it as I believe he doesn't run away from this one. Okay, so we can put... Let Bastion finish this one off. They're at such a low level that we're barely can get any HP. Or experience, I mean. Okay, Galvus is... I want him to be right there, but when is Barlow's turn next? He's after Nana, so... We could put Devlin up front, but there's a risk of him dying, so we'll avoid that. We'll keep Devlin here, and we'll have him focus on taking down the Imperial right beside him. Okay, Nana should be able to do quite a bit, level up quite a bit, as long as she keeps using Long Thrust. Okay, Barlow, let us have him. Let's just leave him there. We need... Who's next after Barlow? Andrew and Devlin. Can Andrew make it? No, he can't. Can Devlin make it? No. Then it's Thomson and Imperial 8. Then Reyna. Then Zeira. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. We gotta leave Barlow there. Otherwise, Nana could be easily destroyed. Okay, he's frozen. That's a good thing. Devlin's going to move to the front. We're going to a normal fireball. Massive strike, that's insane. He's very close to getting Burning Soul. I believe he's just going to need his level 4 stone in order to get it. Insights. 1620. Yeah, he's very close. He needs 16 base and 20 power. Okay, Reyna, you're gonna go right here. You're gonna go ahead with Long Thrust. Some extra experience. Turbulence. And we're gonna do Roaring Wind on Nana. This will increase her dexterity, so that she'll be able to hit more often. It means as long as she hits, she'll be able to get the experience for it. Okay, so when it comes to Bastion, I'm just gonna have him continue using Holy Light for now, because I think we're almost at risk of our level becoming too high. Nana, Long Thrust on Zakov. There we go. He's gonna need to make the kill in order to get a ton of experience. Okay, you can go ahead and use Fireball. Nice, there we go. 508. So we have 16 to power, so we need 20 to power. So increase his power by 2, base by 1, and by the time that's done. Oh, actually, he's very close. Very close to getting Burning Soul. Zeira, Turbulence. We'll hit Zakov again. Just keeps peppering him with attacks. He still has Dexterity, which is good. Dexterity boost. We'll also reduce his agility. And we'll use Cooling Mist now. As you'll see, we're going to reduce the FP of allies within 2 blocks of us. Within 2 tiles, 2 spaces. Let's see, 0, 30. Okay, so from what I can see, it looks like it's just 30, which is, even though it's a low amount, it's insanely useful. So it's something that should be heavily abused. Wow, they both missed. Okay. We'll give this to Barlow. Make sure we heal him. And Devlin, he does not like back attacks. Let's bring him over here. And we will have Tornado, of course. We'll also have Andrew take down Thomson. And we'll have Galvus follow Devlin. That would just to make sure he doesn't get himself killed, right? She's very close to leveling up. You just need to actually destroy Zakov. I still hope he doesn't run away. Ice Storm on Zakov. He's frozen again. Excellent. His Cooling Mist one more time. Alright. Excellent. Turbulence on... not him. We'll just keep hitting Zakov, right? Nice. That was actually quite a bit. Although I'm sure Nana actually is... a second. Nana is... he has less... he has less... oh my god. What am I trying to say here? He has less... her level's lower than Zeira's. Why is he... why did he get more experience? That's weird. Okay, so... whatever. Zeira's going to need 18 dex and 12 agility, so his dexterity is fine. And... he actually has another attack called Sonic Blade, which is effectively the same as Turbulence, but it is a bit stronger. You need 20 dexterity for that, so we're going to aim for that. It has enough agility, because it just needs 15 agility, and we currently have 15. So let's give it all to dex. And yeah. We'll give dexterity to Nana. Go. As for Bastion, we don't really need to do anything, right? Nobody has been hit. Actually, Nana. Let's top up her. Let's top up her HP. Okay, and that Barlow. Let's focus on doing a bit more damage. Andrew, attack Thomson. Finish him off. Don't know what they're doing, but oh well. Alright, long thrust. There we go. Please do not run off Zakov. I implore you to fight with as much honor as you can muster. So as you've seen, although Thomson was frozen, he still managed to evade the attack in some form. Now let's check his support, or his Dormant. He has Reflect Attack. So what this basically meant was actually, what it meant is he should have been able to counterattack, but he didn't take any damage. Fascinating. So he still manages to evade an attack. So that's why you can't fully rely on freezing, even though you should always aim to freeze the enemy. It makes battles far easier than if you focus solely on splitting your damage up between different people. And that's Zeira, Turbulence on Thomson. There we go, Thompson's gone. Roaring Wind on Nana. Pretty sure it's going to expire next turn. Okay, let's end this. Andrew can go ahead and start spamming his Turbulence now. Zakov? Yeah. Zakov, bud, please do not run away. Honestly, I really hope he doesn't. Alright, so we can focus on doing massive amounts of damage now. There we go. Okay, so he needs 20 power. So that is 18, 20, and then the rest goes to base. We're not going to be able to get Burning Soul until he gets Kunzite, which is the next level up from the fire elemental stone. There we go. And we have 17 agility and 16 dexterity. We need Wind Strike, so We need 18 dexterity, so that's 16, 17, 18. As for agility, we need 10 agility. Oh, sorry, 12 agility for wind strike. So we got it all. So he has all of his wind elemental attacks. For now, we can focus on increasing his base and his power if we want him to do more damage. Yeah, heal Barlow. Arena, she can continue going ahead. She can use long thrust. Go. And we don't have any issues with FP, so we don't need to actually use it. And by use it, I mean we don't need to actually use what's it called? Cooling Mist for now. So Zakov should go down in the next turn. They're prepping the other Imperial soldiers now with Turbulence. Okay, Galvus can continue using Melting Flare just for the sole purpose of increasing the enemy FP. And you're just about, two more stat points into base, and the next, and oh, we got Flare Bomb, nice. And the next Fire Jewel we get will be Good Sight. It'll allow us to get Burning Soul. Okay, Bastion's not going to do any attacks. You can... Oh, you have Wind Strike. Nice. Awesome. And Roaring Wind. Awesome. Okay, Turbulence on the other Imperial Soldier. We gotta get Nana leveled up. Will this do a lot of damage? Well, Ice Shards. No. Okay. So let's end it here. End this here. Zeira, Turbulence on the other Imperial. Nana. Alright, excellent. Long Thrust. There we go. Now, not Faulkner, Zakov is now destroyed. He does reappear though, he's not actually dead, so don't think he's actually gone. Alright, so in order for stat distribution for someone who focuses on earth attacks, right, she has, let's see, she has an attack called Terra Shock. It's a collision attack, right? So if it hits an opponent, the opponent can't do anything after that. So that's a good thing. Plus it gets a 40% hit boost. It needs 22 base, which, oh man, that's a lot of white ticks there. So she needs 22 base, 15 power, and 15 defense. So that's gonna be quite a bit. Her dex and agility need to be at 10. So how will we do this though? We'll increase her power, and we'll increase her dex by 2. We'll increase her power by 2, because this way we'll be able to make kills more easily, right? Okay, let's use Turbulence here. And he's gonna back attack Devlin. Wow. Keep move. Keep move. Alright, let's move Barlow up a little bit. We'll move him right here. And Galvus can continue using Melting Flare. Nice. Alright. Got it. He needs Flare Bomb. His dexterity is atrocious, so let's increase his power. He can pretty much be like a one-shot kind of character, and that's really it. Reduce its avoid stat a little bit. That's what we're gonna do here. Andrew can Turbulence this guy. There we go. Nana should be able to come in for the kill eventually. Here's Flare Bomb. Massive attack, by the way. Zeira, Turbulence. That's a huge amount of damage. Now I can come in, finish him off. The Strong Slash or Thrust. Strong Thrust is actually stronger. Fascinating. Right? He should get massive amounts of experience again. There we go, 600. Now, let's see. He requires 22 to base. Let me count that quickly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 base. Wow, okay, and she's 15 to power and 10 to dexterity. So we can do dexterity +2. And then she's going to need agility at 10, which she has, which is good. And defense to 15. Let's focus on doing power and dexterity for now. We'll do that. And Devlin should actually have enough. His stat should be high. No, it's not. He needs 2 more to his base. Okay. Let's move him forward and we'll use Turbulence. Go. I'm debating whether to have Nana or Devlin attack. Finish off Imperial 7. Honestly, I think Devlin should have it. But I'm really unsure whether Nana should take it because she doesn't ever survive to the end of the battles, to the end of the final mission, right? She's one of the characters who always dies just because her level is so low to start with, and we're already halfway past the games. Let's level her up. Let's just do that. Yeah, she's getting massive experience, so that's a good thing. Okay, she's going. What does she need again? 10 to agility, 15 to defense, and 15 to weapon. We might have to increase weapon power, weapon stats. Well, we'll do that one last. 15 to power. Oh, right. 10 to dexterity. Right. And let's keep increasing our power. We just need to get this to 15. Oh, right. Multiple level ups. This is actually what we have to worry about when it comes to Bastion too. But with her, we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so obviously Thomson is a trusted figure to Galvus, and he's absolutely shocked and confused as to why someone who's always been loyal to the kingdom has now decided to betray it. And Thomson is very sorry, like Ganlon was, right? Does he have a similar reason? Yes, he does. There we go. Nearby town of Aza, captured by Imperial Army, and his soldiers' families were all there, right? So, the reason why he basically gave up on continuing to fight is for the sole reason that his wife was killed, and he did not want the other soldiers, the rest of the soldiers he cherished, to go through the same pain he did, right? So, in order to protect them and the people and the survivors of Aza, he decided to betray the kingdom and try and offer Bastion in order to save everyone. Yeah, so it's kind of reminiscent of Bastion losing Camorsh, right? Because Galvus and Thomson are obviously old friends. Okay, so we have our next mission. We're going to liberate Aza. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so mission accepted. Okay, so he is the Empire's ATAC engineer guy, Madoc. And as you can see, Zakov has survived. Now the Sharking. This is our first encounter with the word Sharking. It's an ATAC that is famously deadly. It kills the pilots of the ATACs who it combats against. So it's crazy. It can actually kill the pilots rather than destroy the ATAC. Alright, so this is our first battle against the Sharking. Well, the next battle is the battle against Sharking, our first encounter with it. It's not going to be terribly deadly. It's when we face more than one Sharking in the future that it becomes terribly deadly and insanely difficult to win battles because of it. Okay, Here we go. Commander Zakov just apart here with Madoc's latest prototype ATAC, the Sharking. That's what he's talking about. As we know, Sadira is incredibly honorable, right? Even though she has like a massive temper. But that comes from a source of wanting to protect rather than a source of like massive ego, right? In her title as Princess of the Empire. Oh, she's off to go and stop Zakov, even if it means destroying him and effectively fighting against the commander of the Empire. Right, so we have here, we just completed, let's see, we just got Ultragunner, we lost Melia, we defeated Faulkner, although we quote-unquote defeated Faulkner. Unfortunately, he ran away. That's something I completely forgot that he would do if he takes too much damage. We managed to finally get Zeira to stop being an AI character and sniping our experience. And we just rescued Thomson. Well, we went to rescue Thomson and found he was a traitor to the kingdom for good reason, by the way. And in the next mission, we're going to be facing our first encounter with a Sharking, which is the deadliest, one of the deadliest ATACs you will, actually second most deadliest ATAC you will encounter in the entire game. Although it's only going to be one of them. When we start seeing hordes, that's when things become really deadly. Alright, so before we, actually no. So this is the end of the stream. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And before we leave, let's just check what Devlin's is at, right? His relationship. It's still here, which is fascinating. Like I said, Galvus is always going to love us. Nana is like a massive crush on us. Andrew, he's a giant turd, but he loves us. Zeira's loyal. Barlow, as long as we keep him alive, he will never really cause any problems for us. It's Devlin we have to keep talking to in order to try and get him to a smiley face. Or even a neutral face would be nice, right? That way he doesn't take away any points, causing us to potentially get to the bad ending. Because that would actually ruin the perfect run that we're aiming for right now. So let's leave. And obviously we're going to mandatory save. So something we always have to do. We do not want to die and have to reload to earlier missions. So, this is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this stream. In the next one, we are probably going to end up getting Melia. So that would be next Wednesday, between 9 and 9:30. 9:15 would be the latest that I will begin the stream, and we will stream to about 11:30, about the same time as now. So for those of you watching now and in the future, I appreciate it, and hopefully you come back as we take a very methodical approach, analytical approach even, and very calm and measured response to completing Vanguard Bandits. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and goodbye.